day long, free of charge. No registration is necessary to attend. The Appleton is located at 4333 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Call 352-291-4455 for questions.
Located next door to Silver Springs State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
All right, it's about 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. We have a couple of people on the phone out in Utah.
Yes.
I think yesterday was the first day of something called the No Barriers Summit, and it runs through July 12th in Park City, Utah, and this has something to do with the 25th anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act. David Shurna is on the phone. I love this little fact about David. He lost his hiking boots to a hungry hyena on the Naika Plateau of northern Malawi in southern Africa, and he's the executive director of the No Barriers USA. Thank you for giving me that information, Robin.
I love this. I mean, no barriers, right? He's very adventurous.
Yeah. Hungry hyena. I would give the hyena my boots, too. Kathy Martinez is also on the phone. She served as Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Labor and currently is the People with Disabilities Segment Manager at Wells Fargo. David Shurna and Kathy Martinez, good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Larry. Thanks so much for having us.
David, did you get any new boots?
Well, that's pretty funny. I'm a size 12, and there's not a lot of people with big feet in southern Africa, and so I spent 2 months after losing my hiking boot hiking across the Sahara in flip-flops.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. So was the hyena really trying to eat you, and then you just said, take the boots?
Got his boots.
No. What happened is it had been a really rainy day, and we were backpacking, and I couldn't stand the smell of my boots, so I left them right outside my tent. And I woke up, and there was one shoe right where I left it, and the other one was gone. And I looked in the distance, and there was a big sign that I hadn't noticed, unfortunately, that said, "Put everything in your tent. Hyenas eat everything."
Oh, that is too funny. That is too funny.
I took my remaining shoe, and I hung it up on that sign as a reminder to future people.
Wow, that's a great story. All right, so let's find out what this is. What is the No Barrier Summit? What's happening?
Yeah, well, I can't imagine a better place to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the ADA than here at the National Ability Center in Park City, Utah. This year we're hosting our annual No Barriers Summit. And so what it is a 4-day conference designed to help people tap into their human spirit to believe that what's within them is stronger than what's in their way. And so what we have is 1,000 people out here challenging themselves to do new things, to try something new. And so you might be out sailing, we have people out rock climbing, horseback riding, we've got arts clinics. And so in the daytime, folks are trying something new. We say, go learn something that you never thought you could do. And then in the evening, we're inspired by artists and musicians and nationally renowned speakers who have overcome all odds to achieve great things. And I think people just leave this 4-day experience believing that anything is possible if you tap into that human spirit.
Kathy, what have you tried so far that you didn't think you could do?
Well, actually, the summit just opened last night, so I haven't tried much, except for I've met all kinds of very inspiring people, and it's going to be a great few days.
Really? So I'm trying to think what I would try. I've never jumped out of an airplane, but I don't know if I'd want to.
How about rock climbing blindfolded?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, even just rock climbing, period, at all. Yeah. Have you done that? Have you done the blindfolded light? What do you call it? Rock climbing?
Well, actually, I'm a blind person, so I guess the answer is yes.
Oh, you're blind. Oh, I didn't know that, Kathy.
I'm blind. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of hard to know on radio.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I actually have done rock climbing quite a few years ago, and was really lucky enough through another organization to participate in river rafting and snowshoeing and mountaineering. It really did, kind of open my world.
Oh, wow.
And it proved to me that I didn't have to live down to people's low expectations. So part of what the summit is trying to do, and part of what the ADA is doing, is really raising people's expectations. You know, when we expect people to do well, they typically do. So the whole point of the summit, the point of the ADA, is to expect that disabled people will participate, will contribute, will work. I often tell people, you know, we want to work. We want to contribute to our communities and to our workplaces. And I think we're sometimes the only community that wants to pay taxes.
I took a second for that to hit me. All right. So that is very motivational, and I love that, and it's so true. I mean, so often I think we, excuse the word handicap, but I think we handicap people when we're always giving them a handout. I mean, it's not my own philosophy. I've heard other people say that before, but I think that's true.
Well, there's nothing like learning what your inner potential is, and what potential is just boundless and endless. And so I think, you know, part of the goal of the summit, as well as the goal of the disability rights movement in general, is to say, hey, disability is a natural part of the human condition.
Yeah.
It's just one part of who I am. It doesn't make up my whole identity. And please don't judge me based on what I can't do, but what I can do.
Wow, that is very powerful. How high did you get on the rock climb? How far?
Well, I wasn't a professional like some of my colleagues here, but you know, I did a few rock faces and climbed. It was in Joshua Tree, so I don't really know how far we got, but we managed to get over the top. I'll tell you that.
The top. See, I can't get over the top of a shoe horse.
I was fortunate enough to bring a team of 70 people up to 12,000 feet and climb a peak yesterday, including folks with missing limbs, folks who are blind. I spoke to someone who had been a part of the World Trade Center bombing and suffers from PTS because of the friends that she lost in that experience.
Oh, wow.
Veterans in our No Barriers Warriors program, all of whom were just embracing this spirit of, you know, we can do it. We can tap into this inner potential and really focus on what we can do, not what we can't do.
Well, you both are such wonderful, wonderful mentors to people, because there are a few people that we know, they're like sad sacks. They feel like they're getting the short end of the stick all the time and won't ever venture out to really see what their potential is. And both of you have had to overcome a lot of things to get where you both are today, and it's so inspiring. Thank you very much, and perhaps those people will hear your show and decide it's time to venture forth.
Yeah, and your listeners, if they have some time, they should go to the Wells Fargo YouTube channel in the month of July, where we're going to be featuring some of the lives of people whose lives were truly changed by the ADA. We're releasing a series of videos in the coming weeks. And, of course, we welcome folks to join us in Colorado for next year's No Barriers Summit, and you can learn more about that at nobarriersusa.org.
Do you know what I want to ask you? And this is more of a philosophical or psychological question. Does, or maybe how does accomplishing something that seems unaccomplishable physically, like climbing a wall, manifest itself in your academic life, in your office life?
Well, okay. So for me, you know, a lot of blind people they're not comfortable in their bodies, because they don't get to move around a lot. They're just not given that option. So, fortunately for me, though, I grew up in a family which encouraged me to move around a lot. But what it does do is it gives you a sense of comfort in space. It makes you more relaxed within your own physical self. And it kind of gives you, you know, I didn't realize that I could climb a rock face. I didn't realize I could climb a mountain. And it also allows you to become a part of a team. So you have value to your team, right? You play a significant role.
Good point.
And there's nothing like being valued by your teammates. So that's what it did for me.
Wow, that is very powerful. Also, so are you tapping into each other's enthusiasm? I mean, do you come away from, where do you live? I mean, you don't live there, right, David? Where do you live?
I live in Colorado. And we have people attending the No Barriers Summit from as far away as Thailand and Japan,
oh, wow.
East and West Coast of the United States and everywhere in between. So it's really people from all walks of life. It's not just for people with disabilities. It's for one of the things we believe at No Barriers, that's evidenced by our name, is the one part of the shared human condition is that we struggle, that we all have barriers at some point in our lives. Some are more obvious than others, but we all struggle. And there's something really powerful in that shared human condition to make the acknowledgement that that is a part of who we are.
Yeah.
But if we can learn a way to tackle the barriers in our lives and to embrace them, that it'll help us live more full and purposefully.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, disabilities could be psychological too. I mean, you, like Robin said, people who just are sad all the time. I mean, not necessarily clinically depressed, but just people who are, not confident, or that's a disability. Lack of confidence is. Kathy, where's home for you? Where do you live?
I recently moved from D.C. back to my home in the San Francisco Bay Area, Berkeley to be exact. One day.
That's my disability. I want to get out to. I don't travel enough. That's my disability.
I don't know. I think if you got those sunshine dollars, right? Where are you based?
We're right in Ocala, Florida. Yes, it's very sunny here.
Oh.
I know. It's, it's beautiful. There's no rocks to climb here. There's a few beaches to walk on, but no rocks.
We got a couple two-story buildings to rappel from if you want.
David and Kathy,
are good.
You brought a bright spot to our show. Thank you so much for being on the air with us. Be careful climbing those rocks and come back anytime.
All right, thank you so much for having us.
That was fun. All right, we will be right back. This is WOCA.
Attic Mall Studios. This is WOCA. Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The Confederate flag no longer flies at the South Carolina State House. Thousands gathering to watch it lowered a short while ago by an honor guard of South Carolina troopers. The debate over what it symbolized reignited after the accused shooter at a historically black Charleston church appeared in photos brandishing the banner.
The flag is now ordered by law to be on display in the Confederate Relics exhibit down the street at the State's Museum.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown. Actor Omar Sharif has died apparently of a heart attack, according to the Associated Press.
Best known for his roles in the classic films Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago. Egyptian